There has been significant speculation about what the franchise would do next after Daniel Craig announced his retirement. British actor Idris Elba appears to be the fan favorite among the many possibilities that have emerged in recent years as potential replacements for Craig in the film series. But what does Idris Elba have to say about the next Bond? Here's everything we know so far. To begin with, let's look at the specifics of the subject. Idris Elba is sick of fielding James Bond questions. During a recent Jemele Hill Is Unbothered visit, the actress vowed to clear the air. Since Daniel Craig announced his retirement, there has been much conjecture about what the franchise might do next. 007 remains a hugely popular persona, and the role is unlikely to be retired. Many supporters, though, would like to see the role modified. Elba is a well-known actor who embodies several Bond tropes. Conversely, the actress is not keen to see the fantastic come to fruition. He advised the sports journalist that he anticipates the subject coming up in some form or another soon. Reporters understand that he will reply each time differently. Regardless, he wants to explain why. For the time being, he will try to avoid addressing it. Watch the video to hear what he had to say. I'm out of ideas. Don't ask, I say. Because journalism is sometimes shoddy, Elba clarified, and people try to use it as clickbait by asking, what will he say this time? I try to say stuff like that. I'll tease them sometimes, but I'll also explain why I don't want to do it, or why it's a rumor to others. But I make an effort not to bring it up again. Moving on, what do we know about the scripting of the next 007 James Bond? According to Bond producer Barbara Broccoli, there is no frontrunner currently since no one is in the race. They're still in the early stages of writing the next 007 installment. Aside from the fact that they only want guys to portray the role, the crew has a lot of options. No one is in the race. Broccoli recently remarked of the future Bond actor, "We're deciding where to take him, and we're talking about it. There isn't one, and we won't write one until we figure out how to handle the next picture. Essentially a reinvention of Bond. We're recreating him, and it's taking time. I'd estimate that filming will begin at least 2 years from now. He may be any color, but he is male," Broccoli recently said. "I feel we should develop new female characters, particularly powerful female ones. I'm not very interested in having a woman portray a masculine role. Women, in my opinion, are significantly more intriguing than that. Do you want to see him as Bond? Please let us know in the comments. Following that, is there any word on the upcoming James Bond official search? Let's check into it. After Daniel Craig's shocking exit in No Time to Die, Variety reports that the Bond producers have yet to begin the formal hunt for the sixth Bond. As the publication points out, several names have been floated in the press, ranging from Idris Elba to Bridgerton's Regé-Jean Page, currently starring in his action film The Gray Man. Still, Broccoli has clearly said that no genuine scouting has taken place. She previously said such a hunt would not begin until late 2022, so we won't hear any genuine 007 news until next year. The revelation may be kept even longer. Daniel Craig didn't debut as Bond until October 2005, a year before Casino Royale, his first assignment as the iconic super spy. It's a significant choice, Broccoli said at the Broadway premiere of Macbeth, in which Craig starred. It's more than merely casting a character. It's time to evaluate where we're heading. In any event, what a burden to bear. Next up is the plotline of the next Bond film. Many see Daniel Craig's departure from the role of James Bond as the end of the character. The issue now is where the story can go from here. The series is regularly updated to adapt to the ever-shifting cultural climate of the present day. The fact that it mostly concentrates on heterosexual white guys has also been a major source of criticism. Each time a new actor takes on the role of James Bond, the series takes advantage of the opportunity to realign itself to the ideology of the audience it is aiming to appeal to, stated Dr. Jaap Verheul, editor of The Cultural Life of James Bond. Given all this, it doesn't seem so far-fetched that the next James Bond may be a woman. Some fans believe that the producers want to develop a spin-off focusing on M16 agent Nomi. Moving on, I'll be there, says John Boyega of James Bond Rumors. John Boyega has said that he would be fascinated if the part of James Bond were offered to him. The Star Wars actor is one among those rumored to take up the role after the 2021 film No Time to Die, in which Daniel Craig's version of the legendary spy dies. Other actors said to be interested are Tom Hardy, Idris Elba, and Jamie Dornan. Boyega, 30, expressed interest in the role in a recent interview with the US magazine Men's Health, without stating if film producers had approached him about it. But you know, if they call, I'll be there, he said. Boyega dismissed speculations that he had been asked to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the interview. That's not in my plans right now, he said. I'd like to offer my talents to create independent films with new, fresh concepts, because I know it's difficult difficult to beat Iron Man in that realm. Earlier this summer, James Bond producer Barbara Broccoli stated that the search for the next 007 has yet to begin because the iconic character is being reinvented following Craig's departure. Nonetheless, betting sites have started taking wagers on fan favorites, and last month, the Russo brothers directors supported Bridgerton actor Regé-Jean Page. Next up, would you like to have a younger version of James Bond in the upcoming 007 films? Well, Taron Egerton could keep his 007 identity. Everyone is familiar with Egerton from the Kingsman film series, where he plays Eggsy, a dashing and debonair secret agent. This was a more sophisticated and slicker take on James Bond inspired by Mark Millar's comic vision. It was based on James Bond and was designed to modernize Bond. Egerton is a good fit for this concept since he is just 32 years old, has a lovely face, and is well known in Hollywood among the audience the filmmakers are seeking to attract. Aside from Kingsman, he has also appeared in Robin Hood and provided a profoundly dynamic performance as Sir Elton John in the highly acclaimed biopic Rocketman. Both of these performances have gotten a lot of praise. Egerton just had another outstanding performance in Apple TV Plus's Blackbird. He played Jimmy Keane, a former football player who turned to drug dealing in this series. They all demonstrate that he has the necessary range for the role, which may result in something a bit cheekier than usual. Moving on, John Boyega's Bond can lead the franchise to new heights. Many people had anticipated that Idris Elba would be appointed as Bond to break the cycle of whiteness. Boyega, on the other hand, would be a simple substitute for Elba and provide much-needed color to the film. If someone like him existed, it would create history for people of African heritage and other underrepresented groups, marginalized communities, and people of color worldwide. Boyega isn't even being recruited as diversity or token hire because he has exceptional acting abilities, as is the case here. It was clear when he fought aliens in Attack the Block and portrayed a cop in the thriller Detroit. Boyega stood out a lot in the Star Wars sequel trilogy and Pacific Rim Uprising, despite the terrible script and direction that prevented him from becoming the main man we all knew he could be. Most crucially, this was even though everyone knew he had the potential to be the main man. When it comes to playing James Bond, the 30-year-old actor would easily be able to handle the job, since it would be the right blend of a popcorn movie with intellectual sophistication. Finally, what can we say about Tom Holland's portrayal of 007? Holland is currently regarded as one of the most promising young actors in the profession. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he has gained critical acclaim for his depiction of Spider-Man. He has also shown versatility as an actor in films such as Cherry, Uncharted, The Lost City of Z, and The Devil All the Time. Holland consistently delivers strong performances, and many reviewers see him as ahead of his time and exceptionally mature on screen for his age. This is true even when the texts he works with are poor. At 26, he is the perfect starting point for a Bond series. Aside from his star power, he has a style and feels compelled to tell new Bond tales, such as how Bond became 007 and his early emotional days with people like Q and M. His recruiting, training, and family life could all be readily reworked to match the plot of contemporary Bond flicks. It would enable Holland to be included naturally in what would effectively be a soft relaunch of the Bond brand, with a key Hollywood face that a younger audience would gravitate toward. Well, that marks the end of our video for today. We hope you liked it. On your way out, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.